Moments ago that the Inspector General Michael Horowitz has in fact referred James Comey, we'll put it up on the screen and keep it there, for possible prosecution over leaking classified information. Look at this. According to Solomon, quote, the DOJ's watchdog, the Inspector General Horowitz, is preparing a damning report on Comey's conduct in his final days as the FBI director that will likely conclude that he leaked classified information and showed a lack of candor. It would be lying. That's why a lot of other people just got indicted and they're going to jail for that. Now, despite this major rebuke, the Attorney General is reportedly at this time declining to prosecute. Joining us to break it all down, Executive Vice President of the Hill investigative reporter. I'm taking this two ways because if, in fact, that would be a violation of 18 U.S.C. 793, the Espionage Act, 18 U.S.C. 1924, removing classified documents, is all in Greg Jarrett's book, 18 U.S.C. 641, theft of government documents, 18 U.S.C. 1000, false and misleading statements. Okay, to me, this is the least significant. But there is a guy named Christian Saucier that spent a year in jail because of 6 pictures he was proud of that he took from the submarine that he served his country on that he never shared with anybody. And he went to jail. If this is the Attorney General's final decision, that would be a disaster. That would mean we don't have equal justice or application of our laws. But if the Attorney General is looking into the broader, bigger issues and believes that more severe crimes were possibly committed and can get back to this, I would be okay with that. John.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm reporting. My headline says it all. He's got a day of reckoning coming on leaking, but there is more ahead besides this. I can report definitively tonight that Attorney General Barr and his team at the Justice Department did decline prosecution of James Comey on this narrow charge of leaking classified information to a lawyer that then made its way to the news media. But I can also report that there's going to be a very damning report that will shame James Comey. This is a man that often preaches morality and how he follows the rules. This report will not show James Comey as a rule follower. He'll be a rule breaker for the second time in a year. But the more important thing to watch, Sean, is the ongoing investigation by Bill Barr and what we know about the FISA. There's a quote in my story that says they are learning some very troubling information about the FISA process, and everyone involved, including James Comey, remains under significant scrutiny. So this is a first pass. James Comey gets a break on this one. The report will be damning, but stay tuned.
Let me
to what
interrupt
we
you,
see
John.
this fall.
Does it mean that the Attorney General declined to prosecute, but now we know referred Comey for prosecution? That was by the IG. That's not a final determination necessarily, is it?
No, it is. On this matter, this is closed. The Justice Department has decided not to prosecute James Comey.
So Jim Comey's going to get away
leak.
with something that Christian Saucier did not get away with.
I think a lot of people will look at this and say there's a dual justice system. Hillary Clinton and Comey get one outcome, and people like Flynn and Papadopoulos and Christian and others get a different one. I think you have to look at the bigger picture. The Attorney General here is looking at the possibility, can I win this case in New York? And if I lose the case in New York, what message does it send that a leaking FBI director got off? If there's a better case to be made against James Comey, patience is sometimes the better part of
How many
prudence.
people got in trouble for lying or lack of candor, to use the terms that were used by the IG?
Yeah, well, there's a lot over the last few years, and James Comey and Andrew McCabe, his deputy, are two of them. But here's the most important part. Well, you just talked about those great documents that Tom Fitton got. When the FBI agents showed up at his house and they collected this information that he had wrongly taken from the FBI, he did not tell the FBI, his own former guys, oh, by the way, fellas, I sent this on to other people. He kept that a secret, which caused the FBI to be in the dark for several more weeks.
Huge news that former FBI Director James Comey referred for prosecution, declined by the Attorney General, but apparently also a lack of candor means they felt he was lying. General Flynn is now awaiting sentencing on such an issue. Same thing happened with Manafort. Same thing happened with Michael Cohen. I think that if the Attorney General, if we're going to have equal justice under the law, there better be other issues here, or this is going to be a very dangerous tipping point for the country if Hillary giving the benefit of the doubt, knowing what I know, and you know more than I do, and you seem to agree with me.
I do agree with you. The sources are telling me stay tuned. There's a lot more to come down the pike on this
Jim Comey specifically. On him and on our intelligence people that abuse power.
Yeah, he signed the first FISA. Listen, that's going to turn out to be a fraudulent or misleading FISA. So there's a lot more to